What people make mistake today is they thinking too much about tool. They're thinking about too much design. They're thinking too much about platform. But the most important thing is clear structure of the funnels, clear structure of the offer. So three things that we need: a hook, story, and offer in the Russell Brunson word.
So, welcome again to here to Scale to Freedom, your podcast where it's all about building your systems, building those things that create the freedom formula. And today we have Pankaj. Pankaj and I have known each other only a short time, about 6 or so months. We first met here in Thailand, where I live, living the freedom life. And Pankaj is from Funnel Bandits. Great guy. And we're going to enjoy this time. Welcome to the podcast, Pank.
Thank you, Kel. Thank you for inviting me here, and I'm super excited on that.
Mate, it's going to be great. As I said, we first met in Thailand, actually, just down
Yeah,
the road from there, back in July last year, July of 2025. And
exactly.
we've stayed connected. So, what have you been doing since Thailand? It's been 6 months now. So, what have you been doing just personally? Business wise and personally.
Okay, on personally, I am doing some gym and some exercise over there. And for business, I am working on a two platform basically. The one is we are working on the SEO tool, and the another one is we are building a project management system.
Very nice, very nice. That is a task and a half. Building tools is a hard job, but let me tell you, that's cool. So you've been busy. So you've been in the funnel on the website for a little while. Tell how long you've been in it, and what have you been learning so us? And I think you're working with Go High Level and stuff. So tell us a little bit of your history in the funnel space.
Okay. So I am building websites and funnels over a decades. Actually, I started these when nothing like no CMS was exist. Like I built it from scratch, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, all that. Then we moved to the WordPress, Kajabi, Kartra, and Squarespace, all that. And for the marketing, we use ActiveCampaign, Aweber, and all that. And then we found the high level, and that's good. And now we are happy to managing 1,000 tool in a one system, and we are happy to use the one tool in a system.
Yeah, look, and it is a great system. Like I use it myself, as you know, and having a high level. But mate, you've had a bit of experience in there, so everything else, but back on your coding stuff. So that's a interesting sort of journey. So what is we talk about a journey? So you've gone through all these different platforms. What's some of the highlights in this journey of discovery and new things?
Okay, so the one big highlight is from shifting everything, building from scratch to repetitive jobs. Like when we go to the client, and initially we start building from scratch everything, and now we already have a skeleton ready. Now we just put the skeleton. We understand the client requirements and put the skeleton and work on that. So we don't need to build from everything scratch. So it's yeah, and our main thing is we want to shift from client overwhelm to control, feeling calm, feeling all the things is going well and good.
Excellent, excellent. So obviously, we all know, like, creating funnels. A lot of people do it for different reasons. All right, but a lot of people make mistakes. Like the building a funnel. A funnel is one thing. We talk about it before. In the green screen
Uh,
before we started. People build funnels, and they look great, but they don't convert. So, what are some of the big mistakes that people make in building funnels?
okay, so what people make mistake today is they thinking too much about tool. They're thinking about too much design. They're thinking too much about platform. But these things needs, but the most important thing is clear structure of the funnels, clear structure of the offer. So three things that we need: a hook, story, and offer in the Russell Brunson words. So
Yes.
most people thinking too much about platform. This is the one thing that they are making mistakes. every platform needs, and every platform are mostly similar, only the few things that up and down, but that's the one thing that they think about is clear structure of the funnel.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, the structure is such an important part of it, and but they just miss it. You know, they make it look pretty, and there's nice little videos, and there's little things that buzz across the screen. Oh dear.
Okay, so it's a funny story. As I mentioned, we were in the retreat yesterday. So we are teaching people how they can build funnels and how they can make ads. So one guy came to me and asked, "Hey, Pankaj, I did that." So I asked him, "Hey, make it look ugly." He make it ugly and came back again to me. I said, make it more ugly. He make it more ugly, and I just asked him like so the hook should be clear and make it more ugly. And you can't believe he got the first sale in the 1 hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the proven tested things.
Yeah, it's yeah, pretty is good. Being having a brand and all that type of stuff. If you can get instant brand recognition, that's great. But the
Yeah.
reality is, like not all of us. We've got to start somewhere. We've got to create a brand, but
Mhm.
we try and do all this stuff about making it look fancy rather than making it practical. So
Exactly.
that leads us to this next sort of thinking. So you're using high level, and high level's got a lot of features. But I can imagine in this funnel area, people are underutilizing some of those
Mhm.
things. So what are some of the things that you see consistently that people are not using well when it comes to creating the funnel that's going to create actual sales?
Okay. So people is under using the one feature is workflow. People just want they are using only the few simple workflows and call booking system and reminder and opt-in and all that, but these are beyond that. You can use a clear structure, and the first workflow is a game changer inside the go high level. People are not using that in a full potentially, basically. So that's the one thing that I feel in the go high level they are missing up right now.
Yeah. So if you've got a nice site, people might click on it, but if you're not got anything to follow them up and nurture them, all right, and really take care of it, because it generally takes a bit of a time. So some people might click on a funnel and they get into a funnel and they
Hmm.
get that free whatever it might be offer, and they don't go along and start to purchase, but they're still there. Yeah, they're still there
Exactly.
in your database, and the automations and that nurturing process really is
Yeah.
that, isn't it?
The nurturing process, data reactivation things, and a lot of things that we can use for the go high level
Yeah.
workflows.
Yeah, great. So, what's been working? So, we've got 2025 is behind us,
Hmm.
2026 is ahead of us. What are the
Hmm.
things that you have learnt from your experience that's actually working really well in the conversion process?
Okay. So in 2026, the two things is working very well. One is clarity, and another one is trust. If you if you are making a lot of hype, your offer is loud and all that, but it's not clear, people are not making trust, it's not going to work. Basically, people are making big promise, fake urgencies, and they have the design and they are making a overlook design, all that. It's not gonna work. You need to make a clear offer. You need to make a clear hook and relatable story you need to tell on them, and just make a clear structure of the offer, then gonna work, not just the over promise.
Yeah, so true. And I think where I'm seeing a lot of it, and tell me if you're seeing the same thing, Pancash. A lot of people these days are forgetting that we're human, and they're using AI and they're using automation, and they're taking themselves out of the picture. They think that they can create a business and create freedom, and they can scale a business to freedom, which
Hmm.
means they never have to be person to person. What's your comments about that?
Okay, so automation is good, but automation is for helping us, not replacing for us. This is the one thing that I'm gonna mention on that. Okay, so automation should handle the repetitive task. Okay, not the human part that we are we need to talk, we need to instant reply, not that one. So automation is like making reminders, sending emails, those and all that good, but it's support for us, not to replace for the human, all that.
Yeah, yeah, it's exactly right. I'm seeing it a lot. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, you can do this, you can do that, you can do something else, you can automate it, you can get AI bots to do it, and you can get an AI salesperson." And the reality is,
Okay.
people are still.
So let me tell you one thing. I'm working with a client and he asked me, "Hey, Pankaj, I want to set up an automation and I want to set an AI agent over there." So, okay, I said, yes, I can do it. And I set up and all that, and everything is working very well. But hard reality is everyone want to use AI, but no one want to talk to the AI.
And look, uh, you and I know each other well enough, and I can say this, particularly in a Western side of things. Going
Mhm.
back years ago, we used to get phone calls, trying to sell
Mm.
us something, and we get on the end of a phone, and we have this, non-Australian. I'm an Australian, so we get a non-Australian speaking to us. Now that person could have come from India or Pakistan or a Asian country, but you can tell it
Mm.
straight off. It's not somebody local, and
Yeah.
we call it the cold calling system. And so
Mm.
in our Western culture, as soon as we get that phone call, the immediate thing we used to do is hang up. We go, not
Exactly.
interested. We wouldn't listen to it. As soon as we heard that first couple of words, the different, the different enunciations, the different language, we go, nah, this is not for me. We know what it's about, but just hang up. And I don't know about you, but it's
Yeah, the same thing happening for the AI too.
the AI is having the same thing. It was good at the start. It was a novel
Yeah.
thing, and it's getting
Yeah.
better. But people are still going, hang on a second. I want to talk to a person. I don't want to talk to.
Exactly.
There's places for that stuff, and and if people want to ask questions about knowledge banks and some technical sorts of questions, my AI bots
Mm.
can be good in that. But yeah, so just taking that on. So when you how do you balance your own automation from personal connection? How do you actually do that?
Okay, so let me tell you the story, which is yesterday happened. I have a funnel on my website, and I have a live conversion AI on that too. So I was working on a client project, and suddenly I got a notification, someone on my website live chat. So he was typing something, and my AI is replying, and it's happened a few times every day. And so I thought, just have a jump, and I messaged personally him, "Hey, this is Pankaj, and you were talking about you are talking to my AI, and this is the real person. I want to talk to you, and let me know what I can help you." So he said, "Is that Pankaj or it's VA from the Pankaj side?" I said, "No, it's Pankaj here." So he said, "Hey, it's really nice. I need these things and this. So I'm looking for that." So I said, "Okay, let's have a Zoom call." I send link in a minute, and we have a conversation front to front, and start understanding all this, and I sold. So I sold quickly. So this is the potential client, but AI can't do that because human can do that, these things. So that's why I am handling it.
Yeah. And the reality is AI can't negotiate. You know,
Exactly.
as a business owner or if you've got a salesperson, you know the parameters, but
Hmm.
it takes sometimes a bit of instinct, and you can't
Hmm.
train AI with instinct. You can't train AI with body language. So people will different things, and people put up all these objections. All right. And
Yeah.
yeah, and so the funnel gets them so far, automation gets them so far, but eventually the humans got to step in. And so when we're
Exactly.
talking about scaling to freedom, one of the important things I think the listeners really need to think about is scaling to freedom doesn't mean that you have no work. You've still got to do something. As a business owner, you can reduce it and you can train other people to do the
Hmm.
sales work, but you can't take humanity out of your business. You've got to keep some level of humanity in your business. It's up to you
Hmm.
then as a business owner. If you want to scale to your free, you don't have to do anything. You still got to have somebody in place. So, mate, some really,
100%.
really good stuff here, mate. And I think when we're talking about scaling and building, people
Hmm.
have this misnomer that means that I don't need any humans. I can do it all automatically, and it's just not true. Love your work, mate. So what's changed the most in your business over this last couple of years?
Okay. At very first, when I started, I was thinking too much to showing off and complexities of the things. I can handle the most complex part, and I can handle the most complex funnels and automation and all that. But right now, I change it to make it complexity into the simplicity. That's really work right now. Okay. So simplicity is better. It's clean. It's get result. And yeah, that's the things.
Yeah. So I go back to something you were saying before. It's about, make it uglier. Make it simple. Like, make it,
Exactly.
if you make it look too flash, you're putting up little red flags inside of people's brains to say, hang on a second, this is too good to be true, or yeah, they're just trying to be flashy. They're making false promises. Just keep it simple and something that people can relate to.
Yeah. That getting the solution of the people problems. This is the really matters. Nothing else.
So here's a good question. So with all this technology, we've talked about high level, we've talked about AI, you've talked about a lot of other technology that some people are potentially still using.
Hmm.
So in this world we have where, and I've done some research just the other day, 500 new applications are being, put to market every week. 500
Exactly.
new applications. There's no way people can get it. So my question to you is, within all this, I call it the tech avalanche. So with this technology avalanche just pouring in on us, how do
Hmm.
you help coaches get rid of that feeling of overwhelm about technology?
Okay. So it's not only for the coaches, it's for everyone who working on the online and everything. Okay. You are good at coaching,
Hmm.
but I am good at building funnels and technical stuff and all that. Should I worried about coaching? I should I should I start working on my coaching part instead of the things? So it's not the coach's fault or business fault. It's everyone don't need to be master on everything. If they are doing coaching well, they should working on that part basically. Just I had a line over there: do whatever you can best, outsource the rest. This is I heard from I am not sure where I heard it, but it's the punchline I heard. Okay, so you need to be clear on your system, what exactly you need. Then everything is doesn't matter. Like you can rest of things you can outsource. So if you be clear on coaching, be clear on what you are looking for, be clear on your mission, be clear on your call, and everything can be achievable without like overwhelm. So you don't need to be worried about technical part and all that. It's manageable by something.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was talking to a good friend of mine, Steve Mack. He started a $20 business and
Mhm.
a simple $20 offer, and he's built that $20 offer in 2 years to be $1 million business,
Yeah.
just by creating relationships. And he said to me today, he said, Kel, I hate technology. Now he uses us as one of his services, but he said,
Hmm.
I hate technology and I never use it. He said, I just get everybody else to use it. I know what I'm good at, and he's good at talking, and he's good at building
Yeah.
relationships. And that's what he's going to be talking about in the end, the importance of building relationships and how you can start $1 million business with a $20 offer and just sell it multiple times and get reoccurring revenue. And it's simple.
Yeah.
It's a very simple structure, but people miss it. And particularly in our world where people are saying, oh, you've got to get high ticket items and we're trying to sell things for thousands of dollars. Sometimes it's the small things that make a difference. Loving what we're saying here and what we're thinking. And folks, we're here today. Pankaj, as I said, is in India. For those people who might have come in a little bit late, and go back, have a watch of this or have a listen to this, however your medium you are of listening to this podcast. But please make sure you listen to it a couple of times. There's some real nuggets of gold that Pankaj is actually sharing with us. Let me review a couple of what we've said so far before we start a wrap up. Do things
Yeah.
do things simply. That was one of the things yeah, it's a thread throughout everything you've said today. Keep it simple. You know,
Mm.
we call it in Australia, give it the KISS principle. Keep it super,
Oh,
all right? Keep it
yeah.
super simple, KISS. But I like the better one is keep it simple, stupid. All right. So we just try and complicate it and we get stupid about complications. And what we've been
Yeah,
today from Pankaj is very much keep it simple, build trust.
exactly.
Don't make it too flashy and you'll get the sale. Take your time with. So some great nuggets of gold there. And we're going to start to go into bring this little podcast to a bit of a landing. So one of the things you work with a lot of people. What do you enjoy most about working with people and the clients that you work with?
Okay, so we've enjoyed working with people is who is very clear about their mission, what exactly they are looking for. They are believing in the long term growth. They are looking for like the clarity. They already have a clear vision. They want to work with why they are building these things, why they want to be in their life. So it's definitely it's a little long, but clarity is the most important key in everything. If you want to work within business, if you want to work with your client, if you want to work with your team, and whatever it is.
Yeah, yeah, that clarity. Yeah, work with people who know what they want. It's
Exactly. The confused people always waste your time there too. At the end, the result is nothing.
and I
So
think also like you're making project management software, and that's about doing things in a bit of a structured manner. So many people launch ideas and they start things and they've got half an idea in their head and they expect somebody else to finish their idea off. And so there's another little nugget of gold, folks. Be clear on
uh,
what you're trying to achieve.
exactly. So let me tell you one thing. As we are building on the project management system, I saw some people this, and they just want to like. I agree and I appreciate their ideas, whatever they. But oh, like we are pretty clear what we are looking for, and we are building on that. Everything, what are people? That's good, but they are distraction because they are seeing a lot of stuff behind, and even they don't know our vision, even they don't know our call. They are just seeing it. They are just giving you the advice. They are asking for too much add on that. No, I know what I need to build. I know what we want to go. I know what I want to achieve. So I appreciate your ideas. I appreciate your clarity and all that. That's good. Thank you very much. This is what I want to say.
Yeah, and so many people they're not clear, but they want to tell you how to do your job.
Exactly. It's happened.
Excuse me. So what do
Uh,
you, yeah, you already talked about you're building a couple of things you're pretty excited about. What
mhm.
what can people learn more and how do they connect with you, Pankaj? How's the best
Okay.
way people come to you?
So as I mentioned, we are building a project manager. We called it Pingless.
Mm,
Less ping, more progress. This is our title for that. One other thing that we are working on that is AI SEO. You just put the your website and it will give you the report, something like another level of market apps already in the market.
mm,
But the most important thing is we are aligned this AI SEO app to the go high level, so you don't need to do manually everything. You just put the URL, make a little connection, and everything in the go high level build its funnel, website, and pages. It will be automatically fixed by AI SEO.
nice. How
Yeah.
big? How good
Okay.
is how
Yeah.
good?
And thank you very much.
Pankaj, look, this has been an absolute pleasure, mate. And we'll make sure that people within this podcast, wherever you're watching us from, just look out. All the links and everything, how to get in contact with Pankaj will be there. Funnel Bandits, they are an amazing, amazing company. So, yeah, as I said, I've only known him for a short period of time, but every single touch point that I've had has been absolutely awesome. And I can highly recommend them. So when you're talking about scaling, funnels is one of those things that you need to scale. You need to do it, yeah, in Pankash's words, keep it simple, you know, make it look ugly and it will,
Yeah.
all right. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, make clear things, the hook, story, and offer. Just make these three things clear, and it's gonna work.
All right. You cannot get past that hook story. You know, people buy story and they buy into story. So, Pankaj, been great having you here on the Scale to Freedom podcast. Really appreciate your time, mate. And looking forward to seeing you again soon in Thailand.
Yeah, me too. I'm excited on that.
Damn good. Folks, that's the end of this episode. Been great having you here. Thank you again. Please make sure you like and subscribe, and let's make this idea of creating a Scale to Freedom business something that's achievable and something you can share. Until next time, we'll see you again soon.